Hello, welcome to the Sci-Fi Christian. I am Ben DeBono, taking a break from book reviews today to bring you a video game review, which I guess we've done a couple of those recently. I did my BioShock Infinite review, and then Matt and I did the Injustice review. So after 2 years of covering nearly nothing related to video games on the Sci-Fi Christian, we're stepping up our game and bringing you some video game reviews. Now, the game I'm talking to you about today is Resistance 3, which is the third, obviously, entry in the PlayStation 3 exclusive series Resistance Fall of Man. I've played the other two games, obviously, first, and I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that I've had this one, I bought it about a year and a half ago, and I've had it sitting on my TV stand in my den, and just never got around to playing it. I don't know why, I just never did. And then decided it was time, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure why I spent all this money on a game that I didn't feel like playing for a year and a half. But I have played it, and really, really enjoyed it. Now, let me back up. I'll just give you a little background on the series in case you're not familiar with it. So, the basic concept of the Resistance series is that it's set during World War II, and an alien race called the Chimera have invaded Earth, which is just a pretty cool setup for a video game, if you ask me. And so you are in World War II times with this mix of alien technology that you get to use and World War II technology, and so it makes for a really fun setting. I love both the first two games. Probably have like the first one the best in the series, but all three of them are a lot of fun. So the genre of the games it's a first-person shooter, but thankfully not multiplayer. There may be multiplayer parts in there. I'm not sure. All I care about is the single-player part. And this is part of why I like this series so much, is because I can't stand the way that first-person shooter has become equivalent to a repetitive multiplayer game. I mean, I guess people enjoy playing Call of Duty 762 or whatever number that worthless series is on right now. But for me, I kind of bemoan the direction that first-person shooters have taken in the last several years to cater to the multiplayer crowd, because while multiplayer can be fun, that's not what a good first-person shooter is. It's about this immersive experience, and maybe for me it goes back to GoldenEye, where multiplayer was fun and I enjoyed playing it with my friends, but what I really loved about GoldenEye was the story and getting to play all the levels and playing it again and again and again. That's what I liked back then. And then of course, you've got great first-person shooters like Half-Life 2, and then more recently the BioShock series, especially BioShock Infinite, and going all the way back to Doom and Doom 2. And to me, that's what a first-person shooter should be. When I sit down to play a video game, I'm sitting down to enjoy myself, my time, not to get sworn at by 12-year-old kids with a microphone over Xbox Live. I just don't find a lot of value in multiplayer games. So the Resistance series has been wonderful, because it's one of the few series that really, even though I think that there is a multiplayer option in the second or third entries, though I'm not sure, it puts the emphasis on single player, on the story, on this immersive experience that harkens back to the great first-person shooters of old. So I really enjoyed this series. Now, how does the third one play out? So obviously you can probably tell I'm pretty positive about it. Let me put it like this. Nothing in this game is going to change the way you think about first-person shooters. Okay? It is not groundbreaking. It's not BioShock Infinite. It's not Half-Life 2. In fact, there's sequences that seem to be directly borrowed from some of those games. Especially one sequence that seems pretty similar to Ravenholm in Half-Life 2. There's all the typical tropes you would expect from a first-person shooter storyline. for better or worse. So all of that is there. Nothing here is groundbreaking. But everything here, or at least nearly everything, is really, really well done. Okay? Almost everything in this game is tons of fun. One of the things that's been great about the whole series is the scope that it has tried to bring, where you have these massive battles that you have to fight through against the Chimera. And this one has that again. There's huge levels that will take a fair amount of time to fight through, especially if you're like me and not the most talented gamer in the world, and are just a lot of fun to kind of go head to head against this alien horde that is coming down upon you. You've got an awesome assortment of weapons. Again, none of them exactly revolutionary, but they're fun. I mean, I don't need revolutionary guns. My favorite gun in this game was the Rosmore shotgun. You know, you don't get more basic than that, but it's so much fun to walk up to an alien and pop him with a shotgun. In video games, of course. I'm sure that we would all be grateful hosts should we meet an alien in real life, but, you know, whatever. Lame joke there. So, you have all these kind of typical tropes in the game that are, so it's constantly in danger of being repetitive and feeling redundant to other first-person shooters, but it does everything so well, even though it's not groundbreaking, that it never falls into that trap. Even some of the less desirable tropes of first-person shooters, it does really well. Let me give you 2 examples of what I'm talking about. We get the ever-dreaded escort mission about halfway through this game. I hate escort missions. Again, going back to GoldenEye, what was the worst part of that game? The control room scene where you have to defend Natalia, or whatever her name is, and she is very, very good at dying, and it's nearly impossible, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to have been stuck on that level for a long, long time. So you have the escort mission, which are just terrible. I don't know why video game makers feel the need to put escort missions into games, but if you're going to do it like Resistance did, because for the most part, this escort mission is not annoying. The person you're escorting doesn't die constantly. He will die if you aren't careful, but it's also possible to get through the escort mission without feeling like you want to go slam your head into a brick wall, which is important. So, not my favorite part of the game, but done really well. About as well as an escort mission can be done well, which admittedly isn't that great still, but, if we're going to have one, this was solid. Another example, we get the seemingly requisite moment in the game where you've pretty much collected all the guns and you're loaded for bear and everything, and then you get captured and you lose all your guns. I don't know why every game needs to have this moment where you start over from scratch, but again, we have it here. And I have to say that when I realized that that's where we were going, I was kind of rolling my eyes, because I just don't care for that part of video games. It's been done so many times. Virtually every first-person shooter has it, where you feel that they feel the need to take away everything and then make you go find it again, and it really just bugs me. But it actually led to what was maybe the best sequence in the game. I won't go into specifics just because of spoilers or whatnot, but the sequence following, and a couple levels following, where you lose your weapons are really, really well done. It's kind of a prison setting. It's super entertaining. It gets a good mix of stealth in there, and also as well as just straight up action. And it was probably my favorite part of the game. So, for as much as I did roll my eyes at that cliche coming back once again, I have to say they did a pretty solid job of pulling it off. Like I mentioned, you see things showing up from other games or other aspects of genre fiction. There's a couple scenes that seem to be pulled, aspects that seem to be pulled right from Walking Dead, especially around that kind of prison section that I was mentioning. but they're done really well. In fact, if they were ripped off from Walking Dead, it's a better adaptation of Walking Dead than the Walking Dead TV show is, so thumbs up for that. I mentioned the Ravenholm esque scene, where it seems to be kind of riffing off of Half-Life 2, but again, really well done, so I'm not going to complain about that. So that's kind of the story of this one. Nothing original, nothing groundbreaking, nothing that's going to change your mind about first-person shooters for better or worse, but everything really well done. I'm going to give the game 3.5 stars, generous 3, or a positive, optimistic 3.5 stars. I would go ahead and round that up to 4 if I was on a straight 1 through 5 rating system. Really enjoyed it. It's probably my second favorite in the series. I would rank them 1, 3, 2 in order of best to worst. Though I haven't played 1 or 2 for quite a while, so maybe if I went back I'd feel different. But taking my memories as they are right now, that's where they rank. So if you're a fan of first-person shooters, or sci-fi themed video games, or just want to play a game that involves aliens invading during World War II, because that's awesome, check out the Resistance series. If you've only played the first 2, and like me, you've been waiting for 2 years to play the third one, don't delay, because it's really good. Definitely check it out. I don't think you will be disappointed. I certainly was not. So that's all for now. I'm Ben DiBono, and this is the Sci-Fi Christian. Goodbye.